coming in, I know that I had bumped into some roadblocks, like just emotionally, just in journey, like the stuff that's like moving things from head to heart. I had bumped into some roadblocks, and it was stuff that I couldn't quite get any further on my own. And so my hope coming in was some of the roadblocks that I had identified to be able to get through them, and then perhaps discover some roadblocks that I didn't know were there. So that's on the front side, like coming in. And on the other side of it, the answer would be like, absolutely. I mean, I've in 27 years in ministry with people, doing life with people. I have a front row seat to the best and worst of people's lives, but I have a front row seat to the best and worst of our lives as well. And so, like, some of it, I've seen counselors, I've been in retreats, I've seen leadership coaches, but doing what we did in the setting we did, number one, just incredible wisdom of the counselors we were with. But in group settings, a deep dive was exceeded my expectations.
I would say I came in very open and curious, but I didn't know really what I was looking for or what I was here for necessarily. I think that but I was excited and just open to connect dots, maybe to figure out where those dots connected. And I think on the backside, I did get a lot of those dots connected, and that was very interesting and healing and so good. And sometimes it wasn't even in my portion of the sharing, but in the group setting of what someone else said, and me realizing, oh, that's what that is, and someone else's findings and me finding myself in their stories. Impact and relationship with Jesus, I think, is easy. A time to be away and just focus, and that's just what you're here for. Kind of the closed off from the outside world, and the idea of just kind of resting and what does he have for me in this moment, in this week. For us as a couple, just the realization, and probably for our family, for the kids as well, is being more aware of what is that really that's coming out, or to not dismiss maybe an emotion that's happening because I know it's unnecessary, but realizing, oh, there's something behind that, and so let's dig a little deeper and figure out and solve what's the real issue, what's the real problem here. So just to be more aware.
One of the fundamental nature of the question is, how's it impact my relationship with Jesus? It has to assume that there are two parties. There's me and there's Jesus. And I don't really have the problem with Jesus. I think a lot of the discovery for me this week is the problem's more with me, and not the problem Jesus has with me, the problem I have with me. And so I have such high standards, such high expectations, that sometimes even the ability to forgive myself or see myself as Jesus sees me. I think, and Angie alluded to this, the nature of the group itself allows you to see a reflection of you, a little more holistic one that you can't see in the mirror. And while she reaffirms this all the time, you got a whole group of people that many of them I've never met before, these moments that are objectively speaking into that. And so I think for the relationship with Jesus, obviously the me component, how I see myself, is a huge part of that. So it was pretty liberating in that respect. And I think for my kids, like in the same way that we have stories, some of the things in our childhood we had absolutely no control over. But it's part of our story, and it shapes us. I know it's true for my kids. The parts of those obstacles that we can remove, we want to remove. The places where we can normalize and make normative counseling and getting help and doing the deep work. And even if the deep work is about us, like you go sit in a room and you talk, like if that's it, I want it to be normative, not, I don't want that to be a fear and a shadow in the back of our kids' minds. It's like, no, go be the fullest version of yourself that you can be. So but we're experiencing it, but I want our kids to experience that.
I think there are times when you very much recognize that there's something, we have this and we need to work on. And we all know there's things and whatever. He's irritating me a little bit more now than usual or whatever. So there's always things. Sometimes there's something like, we need to go and really work this out. I didn't come in with that. So I think that's where my curiosity was like, man, let's see what this uncovers or unfolds or whatever. And even in coming in that state, so helpful and like tremendously grateful for just the time to not only have together, but to dig deep and understand ourselves, our relationship with God, relationship with other people, and how we all work together in those areas and not just move on through life, but to really stop and focus on those individuals.
So for me, I'm a huge proponent of counseling in general. Individual counseling, I've done a ton of coaching as well, and I'm a huge proponent of that. But those are usually pretty individualistic, the ones that I have seen, have experienced. What was different for this was experiential. So there was a lot of movement. And if I'm honest, I would have been like, if someone had told me that part of it would have been informative to my soul or my mind, I would have been like, well, okay, we'll see. I'm a lot more logical. But it was really powerful, the experiential side of that, but then also the group side. So while I would still say I think individual therapy is a really big deal, individual counseling, there were some things that transpired both in the experiential side and in the group side of this that I don't know that could happen in the same way outside of that. And the other thing that I would say is, I think in terms of, I would encourage people to do this, regardless of how healthy or unhealthy you think you are. Mm-hmm. Number one, you're probably more unhealthy than you realize. Because we can't see some of this stuff in the mirror, but that stuff that you think is behind you, one of my mentors says it's not behind you, it's in you. Mm-hmm. And so you're dragging that to everywhere you go. And when you get into these kind of settings, sometimes it's like we're waiting. Number one, we have more trauma than we think. Mm-hmm. And we're worse off than we think sometimes. And so you probably need it. I need it more than I think. But the other is like, man, even if it's preventative, to get in the rhythm, to have these kind of conversations and tools as a part of the arsenal, so to speak, to combat brokenness, to bring back to wholeness, which is really the dream of One Bridge. I think that's big. That's really big. And I would encourage people, all ages, all stages, feeling broken, not feeling broken, feeling too broken, feeling not broken enough. I would say this is something you need.